2nd March, and in this video we will get to know that what interesting happened today in science. My name is Ambika and I am here to tell you about the science events that happened today. So without wasting any time, let's get into the video. So the first event that happened on 2nd March, that is Pioneer 10. NASA designed 5 Pioneer spacecraft that were launched on 2nd March in 1972. Pioneer 10 was the first spacecraft to pass through the asteroid belt and the first to make direct observations and obtain the close-up images of Jupiter. And the next important event is Concorde. The roar of the engines is deafening as the flight crew push them to maximum power. After a long wait, cheers of encouragement and repelling applauses reach fever pitch and Concorde 001 thunders majestically into the sky above Toulouse Airport. Concorde is the British-French turbojet-powered supersonic airplane that made its first test flight from Toulouse Airport on 2nd March in 1969, and the pilot was Andrei Turkit. And the next important event is push button phone. I think we are well known regarding rotary dial phone and their disadvantages also. Slower dialing was one of the major disadvantages associated with the rotary dial phones. It took 12 seconds to dial a 7-digit number, and sometimes we forgot that what the last digit number that we have dialed. So, to get the better option, in 1959 on 2nd March, an experimental push-button phone was tested by the Southern New England Telephone Company, New Haven, to see if customers dial fewer wrong numbers using the new design. And the next important event is automatic street light. The world's first automatic street light was installed in New Milford in Connecticut on 2nd March in 1949. Prior to this development, some different type of lights were in use, like electric street lamps, not to be confused with traffic control lights, and so many others, and they had to be turned on manually or by timer. So the first automatic street light was installed on 2nd March in 1949. And the next important event is non-stop world flight lands. The Lucky Lady 2 took off from Texas on 26 February 1949 and heading east towards the Atlantic Ocean. She flew the majority of the journey between 6,100 meters with an average ground speed of 401 km per hour. Captain James was the commanded the Lucky Lady 2. The crew for this historic flight numbered 14 and with each man on a shift rotation of 4-6 hours. The aircraft landed successfully 2 minutes ahead of the predicted time on 2nd March 1949 after 94 hours and 1 minute of journey. The recorded distance of the flight was 37,742 kilometers, and the Lucky Lady 2 had achieved the very first non-stop round-the-world flight. The mission to fly non-stop around the Earth was demonstrating that a US bomber could reach anywhere in the world. And the next important event is patented doll. So this is for the kids who love to play with dolls. So on 2nd March in 1928, Mrs. R. Valentino patented a doll. That number is mentioned in the slide. And the next important event is radioactivity. On 2nd March in 1896, Henry Becquerel was using naturally fluorescent minerals to study the properties of X-rays, which had been discovered in 1895 by Wilhelm Röntgen. He exposed potassium uranyl sulfate to sunlight and then placed it on photographic plate and wrapped it in black paper, believing that uranium absorbed the sun's energy and then emitted it as X-rays. This hypothesis was disproved on the 26th or 27th February, when his experiment failed because it was overcast in Paris. For some reason, Becquerel decided to develop his photographic plates anyway. To his surprise, the images were strong and clear, proving that the uranium emitted radiation without an external source of energy such as the sun. And then Becquerel had discovered the radioactivity. And the next important event is 3D color photos. Few photographers today are familiar with the name Gabriel Lippmann. Even fewer have seen the Lippmann color photographs. Gabriel Lippmann, professor of mathematical physics, who invented, demonstrated, and mathematically formulated the process of interference color photography. So, on 2nd March in 1908, Gabriel Lippmann introduced the new three-dimensional color photography at the Academy of Sciences. And the next important event is needles. On 2nd March in 1866, the Axleser Needle Company of Walcottville was organized. The company produced a machine-made swing needles by a method called swagging. That is a process of cold forming metal by compression with dies. So, on 2nd March in 1866, Axleser Needle Company of Walcottville began making swing machine needles. And the next important event is track gauge. On 2nd March in 1863, Congress authorized a track width of 4 feet 8.5 inches as the standard for the Union Pacific Railroad, which became the accepted width for most of the world. And the next important event is metal bale tie. Frederick Cook of New Orleans in Louisiana patented a metal cotton bale tie on 2nd March in 1858. And the next important event is Thames Tunnel. On 2nd March in 1825, work began on the Thames Tunnel in London. Thames Tunnel, built between 1825 and 1843, was the first underwater tunnel in the world. It spans the Thames between Rotherhithe and Wapping in the east end of the London and introduced the UK to the Brunel family. And the next important event is first Blanchard's balloon ascent. The Frenchman Jean-Pierre Blanchard made his initial flight with self-built balloon from the Mars field in Paris a few weeks after the Montgolfier success. From that time on, he traveled all over Europe giving demonstration flights. He was the first to make ascensions in Germany, Poland, the Netherlands, USA. Altogether, he made 59 ascensions. And he had been inspired by the demonstration by the brothers Etienne and Jacques Montgolfier of hot air balloons flying in Annonay, France. The next is these are the scientists who have born on 2nd March, and the names are Georgy Nikolaevich Flerov, Walter Bruch, Edward U. Condon, Harry E. Soref, Leonard Colebrook, Boris Borisovich Golitsyn. And the next is these are the scientists who have passed on 2nd March, and the names are Frederick Sitz, J. Carson Mark, Edward Griffith Bagley, Alfredo Niceforo, Howard Carter, August Wilhelm Eichler, Neil Arnott, Heinrich Olbers. Thank you so much guys for watching this video, and if you like this video, please do like, comments and subscribe our channel, and please share this video to your friends who are born today and who want to know what happened in the history of the science today. Thank you so much for watching guys. Bye.